All right, so this is section 3 of chapter 5, in which we will cover the topic of non-probability sampling. And we'll talk about two types of non-probability sampling, which includes convenience sampling and quota sampling. So convenience sampling, this involves, as the name implies, selecting people for your study who are accessible to you and are willing to participate. And the reality is that this is the most common form of sampling for, I think, fairly obvious, practical, pragmatic reasons. Now, the advantages are that it's typically less expensive, less time consuming, and also just much easier overall. It also does not require detailed knowledge of the population. However, the disadvantages are that, well, firstly, this method does not use a random selection process, which risks a sample that is unrepresentative. And if you have a sample that does not represent the target population, this can bias your results. And, people who volunteer may be different from people who don't volunteer. People who answer the phone, people who read and respond to mail-in surveys may be different than those who don't. And we will revisit this issue in the next chapter on validity. And so the best you can do is to try and select a reasonably representative sample from the people that you have access to. And also, you want to report exactly how you recruited, how you selected your participants, and also their characteristics, so that other people who are reading your study can make up their own mind as to whether or not your results will generalize. And finally, there is what is called quota sampling, which is similar to proportionate stratified sampling, but you are still using convenience sampling, and so the sampling is not random. And so in quota sampling, you use quotas such that your sample ends up having the desired characteristics, whatever those are. So if you want a sample in which 40% of people are below the age of 30, then you set that quota, and once the quota has been met, you no longer accept people below 30 into your study. And so this is one approach of ensuring that the composition of your sample matches the composition of some target population.